Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and we are kicking off the new year talking about medicine in folklore. And this is a topic I really wanted to cover because it addresses my thoughts on religious thinking and how a lot of times in history we've created these monsters who are actually humans, just real people suffering from a disease that we learned about through science. And this is a really important thing to talk about because a lot of people will say that, well, my religion to me is just something personal and it does good things for me and I don't see a problem with having faith in something. But here's the problem. When we use intuition to make decisions, especially when we're thinking about a disease that we might not have seen before, people in the past who have had these types of diseases were executed for having demon possession or for being a vampire or being a werewolf. And it's important that we don't just let our intuition run wild because we could do some serious harm to people. And so I want to look back at some history, look back at the myths, and explore the science related to these conditions and how we've learned about these and how we can go forward and treat people better and not make these same mistakes again. So today we're talking about vampirism, and this is kind of an introductory video into a classification of diseases called porphyrias. So porphyria is it's 7 or 8 different types of porphyria that we're going to talk about. I'm really going to focus on the main 3, and today we're going to talk about the broad mechanism, and in later videos we're going to break them down into each component and explain why we get the results that we do. But porphyria just simply refers to an impaired heme synthesis. So you may have heard of hemoglobin, and that is just heme and globin, and that's what is responsible for carrying oxygen in your bloodstream. So you need heme. Heme involves iron, and it's where the oxygen binds to in your hemoglobin. So you need heme in order to provide your body with oxygen. But you have to make heme from iron and from glycine and succinyl-CoA, and we'll go into that. But some people don't have the proper enzymes to make heme, and so you can get a lot of these problems that end up correlating with the myths of vampires. And so some of these signs and symptoms that we would see with porphyria, you get sunlight sensitivity, and this is a really big one. You hear about vampires not being able to go out in sunlight, and this is something that really relates to it. People with porphyria, especially certain types of cutaneous porphyrias, they will get blisters or extremely painful skin or itching from being outside in the sun. So people who have porphyria will have to go outside when it's dark out. You also, in certain hereditary porphyrias, you see tooth discoloration or urine discoloration. Their teeth might be like this red, like reddish gray color. Same thing with their urine, might be a blood red color. You can also get hallucinations or confusion, even seizures, some mental status changes with porphyria. You can get muscle pain and paralysis, chest pain, abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, bowel changes, and then something interesting is that with certain types, you can get excessive hair growth. And this actually also relates to werewolf myths, but we'll get into werewolves in a separate video. But you can get hypertrichosis from porphyria. So kind of a broad mechanism, we'll break this down later. But just very simply, in order to make heme, and where we get this problem, so we have, in this process, we have glycine and succinyl-CoA, which will enter this pathway, and then eventually be converted to heme, and then heme is used in myoglobin in your muscles, it's also used in hemoglobin, and it's used in other enzyme production. But somewhere along this line, you get different enzymes that are not there. And so if you don't have certain steps in this process, you can't make heme, you can't make any of these. And the differences in each different type of porphyria depends on which enzyme is not functional. So I hope this was a good introduction to the series. We're going to get into this in the nitty-gritties in the next few videos, but I hope you liked it, and I will see you all in the next one.